let you know. First, I want to thank the school for allowing us to be here tonight. The bathrooms are through these glass doors to the right and down the hallway in case anybody has to go. That being said, we're going to let Mr. Lightfoot give a small presentation, and if there's any other county officials that here would like to get up and talk, we're going to let them talk before we start opening up for questions, just to give y'all kind of a rundown of how we're going to handle this. So I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Lightfoot and let him go through his presentation. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good evening. Thanks, everyone, for coming. And as Mayor Pro Tem said, we're just going to run through a short presentation here to discuss some infrastructure projects that are in the near future for this vicinity and areas that it affects. So we just got an overview here of the proposed development. This is where we're at here at North Bay. We've got our 2 apartment complexes that are being built, athletic fields, and then the Mill Bayou subdivision back here. Some upcoming Bay County projects that we want to touch on that affects this area. We have County Road 2321 to State Road 390. We have the Transmitter Road intersection improvements and Star Avenue US Highway 231 intersection improvements. And in the back of the room here, we have a map that is on the slide later, but the map here has highlighted all of the projects for the state and for the county, so you can kind of see what all affects this area and what all will be improved in the near future. There's also a link here that's part of the city's website that you can go on and see all of the half-cent projects throughout the county and what a lot of these projects are being funded out of that the county is doing. So that link is on the Bay County's website. It's also on the city's website. So anytime you can follow that and see any municipality's projects and what they're doing. This is a list of the upcoming FDOT projects. As everyone's aware, 390 is going to be widened from State Road 77 to 231. It's undergoing the PD&E right now, which will be completed soon. And then on the table back here is also a preliminary plan of 390, and you can see the lines there of where the right-of-way will be extended, where the road will be, and how the widening will affect all the way down 390 from 77 to 231. Some more projects that FDOT has to help alleviate traffic in this area is you have the widening of 231. It will be 6-laned all the way up to Pipeline Road. Penny Road, which is up 231 near the industrial park there. Another major project here is the Mill Bayou Bridge replacement, which is right down here on 390, and that is set to go in the 5-year work plan, or on the 5-year work plan for DOT as well. This is the map that's in the back of the room here, and everything that we've talked about here, you have your Mill Bayou North Bay Haven areas right there where the laser is. So you have this road, this green line there is called Minge Branch Road. That is one of the county's projects, and what that is doing is connecting Mill Bayou Boulevard to Titus Road. That project now is in permitting. The design is complete. The Army Corps has had it for about 8 months now, according to county officials. And so as soon as permitting is done, that road will be constructed through there. The next road is Titus Road extension there. So that is an extension of Titus Road. It grabs a hold there and comes and connects to 390. So that will actually create another exit and entrance there for this area and get traffic, in and out a lot quicker as another way to go. You've got the 390 widening that goes all the way through, and then you have your intersection improvements here at 231 and Titus and at 231 and Transmitter, which will help widen those intersections and fix the red lights there to allow more traffic in and out in a quicker and more timely manner. So this slide here shows the overall parcel that's associated with this area. This little area right here is the Mill Bayou subdivision, and the blue line, as you can see here, is where the road, Mill Bayou Boulevard, will eventually go through the woods here and connect to Highway 2321, the dam road as everyone refers to it. The blue line here is where the current water main is, and the intent is to basically follow this water main as the road. So you can see where it picks up here from Mill Bayou Boulevard, works its way through, and will connect there. This road is constructed by the developer, D&H Properties. The road will be constructed to city specs, just like any other subdivision, any other development, like what was done in Mill Bayou, which was done in Andrews Plantation, any of the new subdivisions and any of the old subdivisions as well. So this is driven by demand. The developer will not build this until there's a demand for more houses and more building back here, as the original intent was for this development. Once the developer builds this road to city standards, then the city will take over this road and it will be a city-maintained road. It will be a split median road to help with safety and all the way through from 390 to the dam road.
Before you move on, can I ask a question?
Um,
In your previous slide, you mentioned
Sir, we're gonna hold questions to the end of the presentation. If we want, we'll get him to go back to the slides, okay? We'll pull it up.
It's not a question, it's more of a reference. Can you give me a reference to where the Minge Branch Road is going to be connected to?
So the Minge Branch Road, if we go back,
On the next one.
so right here, Mill Bayou Boulevard comes up, and the apartment complexes will be on the right there, and Minge Branch will be there on the right, going to Titus Road.
So on your next slide, it's actually off of the map on the right.
Be right in here, yes. Graham, can you hit me to the right? Oh, there we go. Another aspect of this is the public safety improvements that has to be completed before the next phase can begin. The public safety has to be done before phase 2 can begin for the housing development, the extension of Mill Bayou. So as you see right here, this is Mill Bayou Boulevard, and when it comes up, like we discussed in the previous slide, you have your public safety. You have a police substation, you have a fire substation, you have your water reuse facilities and everything that's there in that parcel. So here's where the apartments lie, and then here's where the road, Mill Bayou Boulevard, comes along this line here, and you have all your public safety offices and buildings there. So here's just a rough timeline of the development here. We're not going to run through everything, but if someone has any questions, we can kind of hit that. But this project started back in 2005, and Amanda can answer any of the questions as far as the steps and the procedure of how that went. But as you can see, this has been an ongoing project now for the last 16 years. The highlighted area in yellow, and I think there's some handouts going around too that actually has the timeline that you can read instead of on the PowerPoint. But the highlighted area there in yellow is whenever the land use was changed. Right, there's a handout, like I said, going around. No, not that handout. There's a handout going around of the timeline.
They're on the back
That's
table, Chris. There.
right here. So as you go through this slide here, it kind of shows a traffic count that the city did. In the areas that are clouded in red, this is the peak flow in this area, which, as you guessed it, is during school hours from 2:30 to 3:30. Our state guidelines, the peak flow is from 4 to 6 p.m. So you can kind of see where the school peak flow does not really correlate with your work peak flow as per the state guidelines. It's hard to really see in that yellow. You can probably see it better in your timeline, but there is the peak flow per state. Here is the peak flow per school, and it's highlighted there to show the difference.
This peak flow based on Eastern time zone? Majority of states is Eastern.
Yeah, it's based on our time zone.
So it's based on Central time zone, not Eastern.
Correct.
So 4 p.m. Central, not 4 p.m. Eastern.
Correct. 4 to 6 hour time. Yes, we would not do it from 4 to 6. That would be 3 to 5 somewhere else. Another part of this too, after everyone's concerns from last commission meeting, we had another one of our consultants look at the plans, and there is no other viable traffic patterns in this area to fit this. All of these guidelines here have been met. All of the areas for traffic ingress and egress are met per the plans. So there's really no other viable option until all of these county and state projects are completed to kind of coincide and help alleviate the traffic there. So now we'll turn it over for questions, comments.
Like I said, before we go to questions, comments, I want to give the county officials a chance to speak if they'd like. I think I saw Doug Moore and Tommy Ham come in. If y'all got anything y'all would like to offer, feel free to. If not, I'm going to open up to comments.
Yeah, I can cover a few things.
Hey, Tommy,
By the way, thank you for coming out.
thank you
Hey,
for coming.
sorry about that. For being late, I went to the wrong facility. So got there, I thought I was the only one present. Anyway, well, from the county, we have this Titus Road connector that you're seeing that pictures of. We do have funding available for that. And we're expecting to spend about $6 million on that road. What we're waiting on now is permits from DEP, Florida DEP, before we can get going on the road. Once we get those permits, though, we should have that. Should be about a 12-month project to get this road put in. On the county side, you know, we will be pushing our contacts at DEP to try to get that permit sooner than later. We all understand the congestion and the problems that we have and the growth that we're having here in our county, especially in this area. And as popular as North Bay Haven is for the schools, that it's drawing a lot of attention in all different ways. Two, one thing a lot of people may not understand is that I wanted to bring up is the section of 390 from Lynn Haven at 77 all the way up to 231 is now a state road. The county used to own that road. We switched roads, part of Front Beach Road with the state back in August of 2016. So now the widening of 390 all the way up is going to be a state project, not a county project. The main reason for that was funding. Now, the right-of-way acquisition just for this section alone was estimated to be $30 to $40 million. That is just something the county, we just couldn't, you know, we couldn't fund that. We couldn't swallow that. So we switched with DOT for them to do that portion of the road. They are aware of the issues. They know the congestion. It's been brought up at the TPO several times. So they do know that, and they're going to work on that. We're going to try to work with them in the interim of maybe